Good afternoon and welcome to Table Talk, live from the 802 Scoop Studio, 185 North Main Street in Barrie. And it's a beautiful rainy day. Whoever would have thought that you would say it was a beautiful rainy day, but we need it so bad that that's what I'm calling it. It's a beautiful rainy day.
Much needed rain.
Much needed rain. Hopefully not too late for some things. So many people have suffered. Farms, certainly the foliage is taking a beating big time. I had to go to Groton yesterday, and the leaves are mostly off the trees. They're just blowing off the trees. They're kind of gone by yet.
Yeah, I went out to Danville yesterday. Same thing. It's some color, but it's kind of dull. You know, it's not what they call popping, but and there are leaves already on the ground.
Yeah. So, it's unfortunate, but
need the rain.
we need it.
Need the rain bad.
So, let's say welcome to Brandi Tracy, mom and president of the Stephen M. Tracy Memorial Organization.
Stephen M. Tracy the second.
The second, yes. I always forget to say the second. And you've been doing this for a while now, and I wanted you to come in because, as most know, it's Overdose Awareness Month. Last month, and then this month is Suicide Awareness Month, but it's also like mental health. It's all kinds of different things that, but Suicide Awareness Month, and that's how and why you started this organization.
Correct.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. So, like Raylene said, I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, and in 2020, our son died by suicide. He was 14, and so obviously suicide prevention has become a huge deal in our lives. We started, I think that fall, got involved with AFSP, the Vermont chapter of the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, started doing the walks with them and trying to raise awareness that way. And then 3.5 years ago, I think we started the Stephen M. Tracy II Memorial Organization, which doesn't focus so much on suicide. It's based in Williamstown, that's where we live. And our purpose is really to raise funds to support youth in Williamstown. Other areas at our discretion, our bylaws say Williamstown, or whatever's needed at the board's discretion. So we can do that, and we want to support kiddos from birth through 18 or graduation, whichever comes last. And so we do a bunch of fundraising. Our biggest fundraiser is the ATV ride that we do in June at the Den through the ATV trails in Williamstown. And we give $2,000 to a graduating senior who's not going to college, so into any trade. This year it was a young man going into building trades. He worked for Habitat for Humanity in high school. We've given funds to students going to cosmetology, car maintenance, working in garages. So they get the money to use whatever they need for, clothing or tools or whatever they need for that. That's our biggest fundraiser, and we do a bunch of other things to support kiddos. We get referrals from the school sometimes, teachers, and we've given money to groups of students going. I think recently you sent me one. It was a group of maybe young girls going into a tournament for softball.
Yes,
I think that's the one.
Pain Mountain.
And we've also done other team things like that. We've supported the ASL field trip to, I can't remember even now where it was. Boston, maybe. A group of students went down there. We've helped kiddos get into ski and ride program if the families just aren't able to afford it right now. So basically anything that we can do to support kids in ways that might help their mental health. And that pretty much is anything, whether it's they need clothes or they want to participate in this thing and they just don't have the funds right now, or maybe it's a medical thing that they need. However we can help kids, we want to do that. We also I hate the term sponsor, maybe, or adopt, but like just help families every year, at least one family with Christmas stuff. So, we get a name, not a name, we get information like this many adults and this many kids of this gender, and these are what they're looking for. And we, have fun going shopping and buying them a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
that's what we do.
And over the years, you've done some pretty cool things when it comes to fundraising. I know you did the at Easter time, you did the
Egg My
people could
Yard.
buy the Egg My Yard stuff. I mean, that was pretty cool. And that stuff, that also helps. Yes, you're raising money for the organization, but that's a big deal. It makes a big difference to a lot of youth that it's fun, it's super fun. And maybe maybe they wouldn't be able to do it. So, because some people, that's what happens is you say, oh, maybe you could do this for this family. And, somebody might donate that to have that happen. That was another really cool fundraiser that I think that you guys did. And I love, of course, the stuff at the Den that you do, the trail riding. I've gone the first year. I've never been on the ride.
Yeah.
Someday.
Neither have I.
You never know. Yeah, someday. You never know. But Michael Booton said he'd take me, but I didn't know about that. I didn't know if he was going to put me in the basket of his tricycle or strap me to the little platform that he has on the back of his actual four-wheeler. I just knew that I wasn't going to dare do such a thing. But it's a big turnout. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people look forward to it every year.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Lots of people come.
And then, do you still do the walk?
Yeah. Yep, we still do the walk. We have a team. We've always called it Steven Squad. That's sort of just been our thing right from the get-go. And we now have a Facebook group called Steven Squad. But we're stepping away from that name a little bit because now we have more people on the team who've been affected by suicide. My sister's boyfriend, his mom died by suicide. And my cousin passed away a couple years ago from suicide. So now we have more people, and it's not just about Steven anymore. So we don't, when we register, yes, we say it's under Steven Squad because that's just what it's always been, and it's a pain to change it. But we're not, our shirts aren't going to say that this year. We're including everyone on the shirts. We always worked with Yipes. Valerie's amazing.
Yes, she is.
And I just emailed her yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done the shirts yet. And she's, yeah, no problem. So we'll have a new saying on the front, no more darkness on the front, and on the back they'll have each person's name and their birth and death dates on there, just to be more inclusive of all the people who are impacted and who are coming together to walk.
Now, does that walk happen? That's the walk. It only happens in Burlington here, correct?
No,
or is
no,
there
there
one
are
right here?
5 locations in Vermont, I think. The one we do, that we've done the last couple of years, is Montpelier.
Oh,
and
yep.
it's October 5th. It's a Sunday.
And that's Out of the Darkness walk.
Yep, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. And it's called the Central Vermont Walk.
Wasn't there something in St. Albans this past weekend too? I heard there was a concert in St. Albans.
Was that the, gosh, what is that called? Yeah, you're probably right. I can't remember what it's called. They do a bunch of stuff. And because it's Suicide Prevention Month, they do, most of their walks are in September.
Yeah.
So the Burlington Walk, I don't know that they
But the
have
one
a
in
walk up there,
Montpelier
but-
is the 5th.
Yeah,
of
October
October.
5th. Yep. I think it's the last one of the year in Vermont.
Yep. Linda says Afterglow.
Afterglow, yes, that's what it's
That
called.
that was the concert.
Oh, okay.
Linda Kuchar is answering for that.
Thanks, Linda.
Afterglow. Yes, thanks, Linda. So, I mean, not that we don't want to get into all of the nuts and bolts, but what you touched on the fact that your son committed suicide, and when after that happened, were you able to find support groups and things for your family, or were you in the same boat that a lot of others are, where you look and you can find maybe a one-on-one therapist or something, but to actually find supports as a whole?
Yeah, that is tricky. And first I want to say that it's actually preferential not to say committed suicide because that, has bad connotations when you say committed. So died by
True.
suicide is a little better.
Yep.
But he died in 2020, so right at COVID.
Even worse.
Even
yeah.
worse. The Vermont State Police were amazing. They have a victim's advocate who was calling and checking every day. So we did have that one-on-one. She helped us to find an EMDR therapist for me. And they did refer us to a couple of groups, but everything was virtual at the time, which just did not feel good for us. We didn't try it. They might have been amazing groups, I don't know. But because it was virtual, we didn't try it. I think there is now a group in Montpelier running that is a support group for parents or families who have lost loved ones to suicide. But yeah, it's hard to find group stuff specifically for suicide related losses.
Yeah, I think that's the case all the way around. We recently talked about that when we talked to the Turning Point Center, or I've spoken with people through the Overdose Awareness Vigil and different things like that, where after somebody passes from an overdose, there's not a lot of support for the family and things like that. And they do have grief groups and stuff now through Turning Point and one-on-one grief, but that's something very, very new.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine doing that all through virtual. I mean, it's just so impersonal at the time when you're going through that. Maybe once you've gone for a couple of years and it's virtual, or if you have, if you have constraints, transportation or whatever, but to have that connection after such a tragedy, I would think that it'd just be much better. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And where we live, Wi-Fi is always tricky.
Right.
You don't want to be cutting in and out of a meeting like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you said EMDR therapy, which I swear by. I think can you tell people what that is?
So it's eye movement desensitization, something. And we spend a lot of time getting to know each other, but then that I did virtually as well. So that was a little bit tricky. And I actually, because you have to watch a screen, the therapist has a screen in their room, and you sort of track this thing while you're trying to think of the trauma that triggered you. So that it's retraining your brain to do this other stuff by watching these dots or whatever they have on the screen. So when I was doing that virtually, I had my computer up with follow this dots, and then was not FaceTiming, but what is the medical thing you do virtually? The video, the video, whatever.
Yeah.
So again, Wi-Fi is challenging. But yeah, it's basically retraining your brain to be desensitized to these trauma triggers.
Yeah, it's super cool when you sometimes, I don't know if you have faced the same thing, but when I have told people in the past or talked about it a little bit, they think it sounds a little bit nutty, but it really does work. It's a great therapy. It's pretty cool.
I never heard of it before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find someone in Vermont who can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, see, he's never heard of it before. We could have told him that they poke you with a cattle prod or something.
Oh, they do that the second session.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah, they would have believed us.
Well, at least it's not getting whipped with a electrified fly swatter.
Oh, yes. I didn't whip you with it. I just told
No.
you to touch it and try it out.
Yeah. After I saw you jump, I wasn't going to touch it.
Yeah. So what do you all have other things that you're going to be doing throughout the winter as far as fundraising and stuff goes? I know that you have the organization.
Yeah.
And you have a board.
We do have a
Are
board.
you looking for people on the board, things like that?
We always are looking for people to join our group. We currently have 4 board members, but one of those positions is up for re-election in January. Honestly, can't remember which one. But so yes, we're always looking for people, and we just opened up. Changed our bylaws a little bit so we can have somebody outside of Williamstown, because the bylaws were saying that to be a board member you had to be a Williamstown resident, and we've changed that so that one person on the board can be an outside resident of the town. Our next meeting is going to be in November. So part of the tricky thing for us is the town has been amazing in supporting us. We've got thousands of dollars in our account. Fundraising has been going so well. We haven't had a lot of requests for funds. Not sure why that is. Maybe we need to publicize a little better, or get the word out there. So we have a lot of money in our account. So we've actually decided to not fundraise for the rest of this year, to try to get more money out helping people instead of just stockpiling funds. And there's lots of other groups doing fundraising right now, so no sense in taking that from their purpose. But we will have a meeting in November where we'll talk about next year's fundraising. Probably the first one will be Egg My Yard. I think that's usually our first one. We were doing huge bottle drives every year, but now it's hard to find a place where you can return bottles.
Right.
Yeah.
So that one's a little trickier. We'll still do like the parades. We do the Memorial Day parade in Williamstown. We didn't do the Heritage Fest this year just because the date didn't work for some of us. So we try to do public things like that. If there are things in town, we'll try to set up booths with them. We do rock painting sometimes. Love rock painting. So I get rocks and we have markers and we set up just a fun place for kids to do things like that. We haven't scheduled a mental health training yet this year, but in the past we actually had Terry Lavely from AFSP come and do a training just on like basic mental health care and what to do if somebody's talking about feeling suicidal. So those are things that we will have coming up.
And I think that's the tricky part, is that knowing what to do if you feel suicidal, but it's hard for families to know because you don't always know. But
Right.
but that's always in the back of your mind. It has to be like, what were the signs, or did I notice, or why didn't I notice, but we all know that it's. Well, I know. I don't know that we all know. I know, as a mom to an addict, you just don't know sometimes. You have no idea. And we all kind of learn how to do it. You smile even when we don't want to, kind of thing. And so sometimes it is super hard. And the things that are happening, or even the little gestures, wouldn't necessarily be what you assume they would be.
Right. And especially, Stephen was 14, and he was the kid who made everybody else happy all the time. So, 14 is tricky anyway, hormones and bodies growing and just school stuff and like COVID happening. So he was a little different, but we were like, it's COVID. He has to go to school at home now. He's social. Like, this is just a crappy time of year of life. So yeah, it was definitely very shocking and not expected.
And it was a tough time. It was a cutoff. And I don't know how anybody could everybody was depressed and just feeling really yucky at that point, not going to work. No, you couldn't even go to the grocery store.
Right, it was scary.
It was very scary for a lot of people. And there is one thing that I will say, I think that everyone knows someone that is affected. And especially when it comes to mental health, and people always say, there's a stigma with this as well as, and so you hear a lot of, comments and thoughts that and assumptions when it comes to depression, mental health, suicide, any of those sorts of things.
Right.
And the chances of you knowing somebody or a family member or something, pretty big. For sure.
Yeah.
Because it affects so many people. I myself am on antidepressants, plenty of them. And I've tried many times to stop taking them. It can't happen. It absolutely cannot happen. And I know that. Like, that's something that I have to maintain. And if I didn't, I wouldn't be okay. But I have to do that with other things, friends, exercise, therapy, all kinds of other things. They're not a fix-all by any means. You still have to, there's a lot of work involved in in it all the way around. And you absolutely know that after all that you've been through, you know there's a lot of work. It just doesn't, there is no fix it for this.
Right. Yeah.
Not at all.
One thing that I always think when people say to me, like, well, what can we do? And I just want to say, just let's not be jerks. Like,
Yeah.
like if we're not judging each other, or like you just said, everybody knows somebody who is struggling. But if you're one of those people who are like, well, mental illness is fake, or taking medications is bad, like, people aren't going to open up to you, and you're not going to know if they're struggling. So, if we can just stop judging each other and, take people seriously when they say that. Like, we hear people say all the time, like, and I know Steven said it too, and we've all said it, like, oh, I could just kill myself over that. Like, take those things seriously, especially with our students or kids.
Yeah.
Just really listen and
Yeah.
ask the questions, like, oh, did you mean that? Or, right, are you struggling with anything? Like,
Yeah. Sometimes we don't. We don't step back and take the second. And I'm guilty of it too. And straight up can be a super opinionated asshole.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the times. It's like it's just, I can't help it. It's just me, and that's the way I am. And a lot of times I have to step back, and it's later that I'll think, I shouldn't have said that, or I bet it should have been more calm about it, or there's a way to express my opinion without being a straight up asshole about it. There was a way to get my point across without being that way. But it's hard. It's hard to do that sometimes, where you really stop and think about what you're saying before you say it. It's hard. I do it all the time.
yeah, we all do.
And then I spend a lot of time, not a lot of time, but I do spend time apologizing later. Say, I'm sorry I said that. I shouldn't have said it that way. Or, maybe I should have done this differently. Or, I'm sorry if I offended you. And then we can have a conversation and talk it out for me to understand where they're coming from as well. But it's not easy. And everything is so divisive right now. Everything is. I mean, I don't know that we could talk about anything without it becoming some polarized, heated discussion right now. I don't know that we're capable. Sadly. Because everything pisses everybody off. Yeah, and so we're right now, we're spending a lot of time being angry. And that's scary when it comes to this. When it comes to suicide, and you think about where people are really at in their life and how much it drags them down to be that angry. I know that I think I said to you a couple of weeks, like, I hate who I am right now. Like, I hate that I've become a little bit mean sometimes and feel as sad as I feel sometimes. But it's just the day. It's the everyday.
Yeah, having all that anger doesn't feel good. And it doesn't feel good to be grumpy.
No.
It's all the crap happening around us. That's what it is. You hear it every day. It's the same, just bullshit and crap, and it gets to you after a while.
Yeah, it does. And learning to step away from it somehow, take that time to, go to camp or go for a ride or go out to dinner or to a walk or whatever. It takes a lot to even do that sometimes, because, you'd rather just curl up in bed and pull the blankets over your head and snuggle with the dogs, right?
Yeah.
That's what makes you feel the big, the best, really. That's what you think in your head.
In the moment, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what's going to make me feel better. Linda says, and social media plays a big role. Absolutely.
gosh, yes.
Yeah.
People can respond in seconds to something with whatever their thoughts and feelings are. Within seconds, somebody has an opinion and aren't, and they have the protection of their home around them.
Yeah. Makes it easier to be cruel.
Yeah. And now you can use anonymous, you can chat, you can talk anonymous, you can give yourself nicknames. I mean, Facebook was supposedly cracking down, but they've done nothing but make it more and more and more easy to hide who you are and be an asshole. That's what they've done, really, because now that in some of the ridiculous things you can nickname yourself. You can't even put on a license plate here in Vermont. It's
Yeah.
against the law. Like they won't let you put when I had my amputation, I wanted to put on my license plate little foot or no toes, and both of them were denied. Yes, because they said that that it was racist. The plate would have been racist.
Okay.
Yeah, for Indians.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see them coming up with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they said. They wouldn't let me have it. But you can make your nickname on Facebook BCPD's a joke.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, I've seen
whatever.
that one.
You can do that. And it's fine. It always amazes me some of the things like that we don't even think about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even talk about that professions where the suicide rates are crazy high. Professions, veterans,
Yeah.
different things like that. It's insane. It's insane. It's the amount of that you don't even realize. Yeah. Now, do you ever help adults in some of the stuff that you're doing?
With our organization,
Yeah.
we haven't, but like I said, the bylaws say that we can if we feel like there's something. And I feel like there are definitely situations. If there was a family with a house fire and the adults needed something, we got tons of donations for kids, but the adults needed clothes or they needed a new washing machine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, those are things that we definitely would absolutely consider. We wouldn't ever be like, absolutely not. Sorry, you're 19. Too bad.
Basically, because it helps mend the family.
Yeah,
Mend
yeah.
mend what's happening.
And they're part of our community. We want our community to be healthy and strong. And it's not always just the kids. Obviously, that's our focus. Stephen was 14, and that's just where my heart lies. But we would definitely help adults as well.
Do you have people come to you for advice? Like, this happened to us. What do you do? How do you do it? Or even if not because they lost someone through suicide, but just in general, grieving in general. Do you have people come to you and say, how do I do this?
People who have lost people to suicide have, yes. Especially because we have the Facebook group, the Stephen Squad. Sometimes I get private messages from people who know someone who is struggling, or they've just lost somebody, or they know somebody who's just lost somebody. Like, do you have somebody we can call? It's important for people to know that I am not a mental health professional. Like, I don't ever want to be held liable for, being a therapist or giving advice. But I always refer people to 988. That's amazing. AFSP also has a hotline that you can call there. They have like peer-to-peer counseling you can set up with. Like, I've lost a son to suicide, so they could arrange for me to consult with another person who has lost a son, or if you've lost your dad, or they hook you up with somebody who's had the same loss as you that you can just talk to, and like just peer to peer. So those are things I do. I also just tell them what's worked for me. Like, this worked for me. Nothing ever works 100%. You know what I mean? But like, these things helped. So yeah, we do sometimes get messages, or not really phone calls, but sometimes messages from people looking for like tips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who to call?
There was nothing like that. My youngest brother died by suicide in '84.
Wow.
2 days before his 26th birthday. And, I watched my parents struggle. There was nothing back then. They didn't have anybody to lean on to help them.
Yeah.
So it's amazing what you guys do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think technology is great in that way. Like, now we have all those resources and we can reach people so quickly, but also like, 86, you said?
84.
84,
Yep.
okay. In 2020, things were still challenging, especially I think for men. Like, it's 2020 and people were still telling my husband, like, you need to be tough. Your wife needs you.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Like, seriously, like, men's mental health is so crucial, and like,
Right.
they're 4 times more likely to die by suicide than women. Like,
Right. He needed you just as much as
yeah,
you needed him.
He needed his friends and family to support him as well, not just tell him like, toughen up and be a man for
Yeah.
your wife. Like, that's, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We've come a long way there, but still not far enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still hear that stuff, and I know with my own kid, that's certainly what, not from me, but it's certainly what he has heard his entire life.
Yeah.
Maybe even a biff in the back of the head. Smarten up, be a man, don't be a wuss, don't be a pussy, da 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 da, whatever. Or you can't take a med, you can't get help because that would mean that you're weak or something.
Right.
And that was something that was, his whole life was spent hearing that. And it makes a huge difference. Makes a huge difference in when you can get help and coming out of your shell. And what do I do? The fear of getting that help is still very much there, very existent. And then you don't want people to know. Same
Right.
thing, stigma.
Right.
It's that in itself is tragic, for sure. Yeah. Now you have an older daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Kylie.
did she just get engaged?
Nope.
No.
Unless you heard something I haven't heard. I just saw her Sunday.
I thought that you guys just did something though.
She and her boyfriend just bought land.
Okay. Yes. All right. So, and that's the same as putting a ring on it.
They have a plan, okay? They're
Right.
gonna build a house, then get married, and then have kids.
Yeah.
I know I'm itching for the grandma mode, but
Yeah. No, that's a
not
great plan.
happening.
Yeah, that's a great plan though.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that you can speak totally for her, but how has she done with all of this?
She is doing better now. She definitely struggled for a while. She's struggled with depression since she was very young for various reasons. So finding a therapist that worked well for her, listening to her body's needs, like working, she had these great plans. Like she was a month away from graduating high school when Stephen passed away. So, and they were best friends, and just losing her brother, her riding partner, like she drove him everywhere. So she had plans like this college plan and working, her career path all planned out. And she just couldn't go there. She worked in a store, was happy, it worked for her. It was a small environment, but she still struggled some with, anniversaries and different things. She's going to be 24 in December, and she's still not wanted to celebrate her birthday because it's a birthday her brother's never going to get to celebrate. His friends graduating, it's affected all of us. Them going to prom, them getting their licenses, like seeing his classmates and friends doing all these things. There's so many ups and downs of like you don't realize anything's coming up, and then it's like, oh, this person got their license. Ouch.
Right. And it's not that you begrudge them of that. You're
Right.
very happy and proud
Right,
for them, but it's still a hurt. It's still
Right.
something that you're not going to get
Right,
that day.
yeah.
You're not going to get that celebration. But that doesn't mean that you are begrudging
Absolutely,
anybody
of course,
of
yeah.
it
It's
at
just
all. It
something
just, yeah.
hurts that Steven's never going to do. My baby brother, is 5 years older than Kylie, so they're really close. He just had a baby 2 weeks ago, and it's amazing. They're going to be great parents. But for Kylie and I, definitely, it's like, ouch, because this is just a reminder that Kylie's never going to have nieces and nephews. And so, like, this baby is going to be her nephew, but it's painful. Even the beautiful moments are painful sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Do you experience that stuff too?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, my kids never knew him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's definitely a hard part. And I know that with even just family members that I've lost. And because my niece and nephew or other family members, they never got to know my grandfather. They have no idea who he is unless we're talking about him.
Yeah.
That's how they know him. And those losses are deep,
Yeah.
hard to go on, even if it's not by the circumstance, My sister and I don't like birthdays anymore. because we can't celebrate them with our mom. So we just we just wish that they wouldn't even happen. You know, we could care less if it was our birthday or not. We just, doesn't seem like we want to go on and do that day without her. And so it makes it tough. But if there was a circumstance surrounding it, I can't imagine how much more tough that becomes. And it's just a want. It's just, but it's not vicious in any means. It's literally just a hurt. It's a horrible hurt that people should understand, and not let that also become part of the stigma of, you know, where you're looking down on somebody or being angry with them about their feelings. Right? We need to be more open to letting people just have their feeling. If that's your feeling and that's the way you feel about it, acknowledge it for somebody, because that's huge. Is just acknowledging that, okay, that's the way you feel about it. Doesn't mean you have to feel the same way, but acknowledging somebody's feelings is huge. It's way more than half the battle, I think, anyway. You know, nothing worse than feeling unheard. And in earlier years, I used to often say the worst feeling in life was living in a house full of people and feeling so alone. It sucks. It's the worst feeling ever. Now I live on my own, pretty much. My dad's upstairs. And I'm happy. You know, I'm happy that I could just call you if I wanted to, or call Rosemary, or, you know, Barb, or any of my friends. I have more now than I had in a house full of people. And that's hard for some people to relate to or understand. But it's huge when you spend a lot of your life that way. Yeah. So, future goals?
Oh. I don't know. I don't know that I've thought about that. For me or the organization?
Both.
Or for the organization, I would love to see us continue to grow, like have more people coming to our meetings, more people wanting to participate. Like I said, we have tons of people who help with financial stuff and supporting us, but I'd love to see more people just come to the meetings and want to help in other ways, like, you know, egging yards. It's lots of fun. Like if we had more people volunteering for that, that would, you know, be awesome. And I'd really, really, really love to have more people asking for help. It can be anonymous. Nobody needs to know. We don't tell anybody. We would never tell anybody. So I don't know if that's part of it, or just, you know, maybe getting the schools more on board with referring people to us. Head Start's been amazing. Head Start is in Williamstown community, and they're great about sending people our way. So just having more people who are receptive and, you know, looking for those things for their kids would be great. Personally, I don't know, just keep moving forward, I think. Some days are hard, and some days, some days are really hard. And just keep getting up and going forward and trying. Yeah.
Well, you're working now.
I've gone back to work. I've been back to work for almost a year now. I was home for 4.5 years after Stephen passed away. So that's good, you know. Every day is progress.
That's right.
Yeah.
And what are you doing for work?
I'm an admin assistant at Chelsea School.
Yeah.
Yep.
So around all the kiddos all day.
Yes. And it's perfect. Like we have preschoolers, which has always been, like I've always worked in preschool. And then we have middle school, which, you know, Stephen was in middle school. Those are my kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's perfect to have the littles and the middle schoolers. And I grew up in Chelsea. It's my hometown. So it feels like a safe little familiar community. So it's been a great transition back into the workforce.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And you get into, and do you have a lot to do with the sports stuff in Williamstown as well? I know they do a ton of stuff. That's what you should ask. You should ask them if you could do things like open gyms and things like that. They've started doing that here at the Berry Auditorium. And people volunteer, they rent the auditorium, and kids come like a lot of kids come
On a
to
Sunday
enjoy.
night, there's been Sunday nights where they've had 80 to 90 kids
Oh my
there.
gosh,
Yeah,
wow, yeah,
yeah. Things like that are great for kids. It's
yeah.
no charge.
Right.
You drop
Just
them
go have
off.
fun.
You know, there's reliable adults there keeping an eye on things, and they stay for like 2 hours and just free play, have fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
And it's just, and it's a way to beat the winter blues for sure. You're
Yeah.
getting cooped up. A lot of people, kids don't go outside and play like we used to. My mom would have said, wear 6 layers and go out there anyways. You can't put it just out the door. Put bread bags on your feet if you need to, but get outside and play for a few hours. And so you don't see that as much anymore.
Yeah.
And so just that time to like let off some steam and meet with other kids and see kids that, on a different level than what you see at school, and just have that fun
Yeah.
is pretty cool. And then the community volunteers.
Right, and we got, well,
And
the
Mutua does it a lot, right?
The Mutua pays the rent to the city for using gym time. And I think that's members of the Lions Club have bought like ball racks and basketballs just for them, for that thing. So they don't rely on anybody else. It's here it is, have fun,
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should maybe try to start something like that in Williamstown at the school or something. And
Williamstown's always been great with their youth
Yeah.
programs up
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know Jack Carrier, and Jack's been involved with basketball. He's involved with kids when they're like that tall, and then he had them all the way through high school.
Yeah.
He just retired, right?
Yes, he's I think this is his last year at Berrytown School.
That means he's going to work harder, right?
Probably,
Right, Jack?
yeah. Yeah, I
Gonna work
had to go.
harder.
I had to go sit down and talk to him, straighten him out.
Yeah. Make sure he doesn't do that, right? Make sure he really retires. But things like that make a big difference in
Yeah.
mental health too. You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
to get out that extra time, and it's not school related. It's not it's not a sport. Your grades don't depend on it or any of that stuff. It's literally you just get to relax and have a really good time.
Yeah.
With your peers, and so maybe meet new friends. Who knows? Because kids come from all over to Barrie.
Yeah.
Where I don't think it's just
No,
Barrie
you don't have to be a
City, Barrie
Barry resident. It's open gym. Mutua pays for it, and anybody's welcome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Yeah,
So
they started out, they had maybe 10, 12 kids, and then by the end of the winter, like I said, some nights there were 90 kids in there.
Oh my gosh.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool for sure. And so you're looking for more people to reach out. You do have funds. You
Yes.
have
Let us help you. Let us help your kids.
the ability to help the kids. And say it again. Can you help kids outside of Williamstown? Do you help kids outside of Williamstown?
We can,
Or
yes.
are you right now? Or so far you've been focused just in the Williamstown area.
Right. But we
Now,
can
does
help.
that include Northfield?
No.
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 I wasn't sure because the schools are
Yeah.
kind of one, but kind of not, right? The kids can kind of choose between the two.
Yep.
Yep. So I wasn't sure how all of that works.
One of our students who got us the scholarship, the graduate last 2020. So 2024 was the year Stephen would have graduated. So we actually gave out multiple scholarships to seniors. And one of the students was graduating from Northfield, but technically, lived in Williamstown. So that's,
Yeah, I watched all of those.
yeah.
Yes, through lots and lots of tears. I watched all of those and went through all the pictures, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. Yeah,
It was, yeah.
it was a good day for sure. But again, it was a lot.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Need a day or two of sleep after those events.
yeah, emotionally overwhelming, exhausting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Jeff,
No, I
that
don't
you
think
can
so.
think of?
No, I just think it's wonderful what you people do, and
Thank you.
I know where you're coming from, kind of. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Tough losses for sure. How about you? Anything else that you would like to share? Let anybody know.
No, I think we're good.
Upcoming, or how do they reach you? Just through the Facebook page?
Yes. we have the Steven Squad Facebook page, which is where we post stories about Steven. We post lots of, kindness and positivity, images, and some mental health stuff, and suicide tips, suicide prevention tips, and statistics and stuff like that. So it's just Steven Squad, and then we have the Stephen M. Tracy, the Second Memorial Organization, has a Facebook page. They could message that, or I'm trying to remember the email address. It's the Stephen M2 MEM.org at gmail.com.
And I'll post it all up after.
We were
because I do
not
have
thinking
it.
clearly when we set this up, okay?
Yeah.
And then type it out, it's like, oh my gosh, it's like 72 letters.
I do have it all, so
Okay.
I'll just do one solid post of
Perfect.
all of the information, and
Thank you.
and because if I put it in the comments, then people have to go back,
Yeah,
try to
sift
find the
through it all.
comments, find
Yeah.
it. So I'll just make one solid post with both pages and all of the contact information,
Beautiful.
so that
Thank you.
people can reach out to you. And and it's easy to notice. You haven't went on the wheel
Yes.
for the little four-wheeler stuff that you guys do, the ATV stuff.
Yeah, well, we designed this logo book. Stephen pulled tractors when he was younger, so this is like a tractor pulling
A
tire.
tractor tire.
Yes, I was.
Did Val do that for you?
Yep. She's done all of our shirts. So,
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing girl she is.
yeah, she is.
We love her too. Jeff's related to her. Yeah, he tells us stories once in a while that are not made for Facebook though. Right?
I try to control myself.
Yeah. So, well, thank you very much for coming in, taking the
thank
time
you.
to come in, and thank you for all that you do, and just continue to do. I'm super, I'm excited to be able to help you spread the word. I want to
thank
make
you.
sure that people know. And are you going to do the calendar? No, you won't do the calendar.
No, we
this
didn't do
year
the calendar this year.
because you're doing you're just taking a break for a little bit.
Yeah.
Going to try to help for a little bit, spend down some of this money,
Right.
and which is an amazing thing. I mean, who does that, right? Yeah. It's pretty awesome. So, thanks for coming in. You all can join Michael and I tonight for a special episode of Berry Beat. I don't know how in hell he has talked me into doing a Berry Beat for a second week in a row and on a Tuesday at that instead of Monday, but whatever. His time is, he's pushing it. That's not my thing, but Steve McKenzie is joining us tonight. So
Oh, is it the 143 Main Street?
I think he has some updates to share with us. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so we'll be hearing about that. I'm going to kind of let out the scoop right here on 802 Scoop. So Michael and I will be here with Steve McKenzie, Liam Hogan, 7 p.m. So tune in for that. Then
No council meeting tonight.
no council meeting tonight, special council meeting tomorrow night.
Yep.
And then the big news broke in the Times-Argus this morning about a contractor who would like to buy the old Soup and Greens building and put a multi-use facility there. And all hell has broken loose over that for sure. So that is kind of out in the public now. And I learned of it just when everybody else learned of it. And it's been a lot to read, and I'll look forward to hearing more about it tomorrow night. But also tomorrow night is Trainwreck at the park. I think that's the final concert. And but maybe not, because usually Native Tongue
thought-
is. So there may be a couple left,
think there's
right?
two.
Two?
Yeah.
So yeah, don't quote me on that.
Because usually the last one is Bob Nelson,
Yeah,
Native Tongue. Yeah.
So, but tomorrow night is the farmer's market, and then Trainwreck, so tune in for that. And then, tomorrow night will be the girls from Four Quarters. Thursday, you and I will have Dick Wabi in here. We will be on at 11 instead of noon. Special time for that. And Dick Wabi's coming in to talk about suicide prevention and all he does with Associated General Contractors of Vermont with his son. Because the construction industry is a huge contributor to the numbers each year of people that die by suicide. Yeah. So he'll come in here at 11 o'clock on Thursday, talk to us. Friday morning, right side up, and I think that's it.
Well, busy week.
Yeah, unless Michael and I come in Thursday night too. We'll see. Who knows? We'll probably have to, so we can talk about tomorrow night's meeting. We'll have to pick that apart, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you could come in here with us too. Anyways, get outside, dance in the rain. Enjoy it. We finally got it.
Jump in the puddles,
Jump in the
splash
puddles.
around.
Yeah. Put it in buckets, something. Just enjoy it.
You know, I saw on the news last night too, on I don't know CAX or PTZ, whatever it was, but there's places in the state there people's wells have actually gone dry.
Yeah, I know 2 people. One in
Yeah.
Calais and one in Williamstown.
Wow.
Their
Artesian wells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've gone dry. They have no water. And a couple of the springs that people go and get their water, they fill up their water. A couple of the springs, totally not dripping right now. I did go up and take some pictures at the city's facility.
Did you?
Last night.
It's low.
And it is low. And we have all that information. So I'll be posting up that soon with the photos that were taken yesterday. It's low, but not in danger just quite yet. Not like other Berlin, Montpelier, other towns and cities that have said conserve. I think even Burlington has said conserve. So thankfully we're not at that point yet. And it's raining, and it's going to rain a few days, and the most of the rain on Thursday. So hopefully it'll bring the levels up just a little bit more, but probably not much.
Yep.
We'll see. So I'll get those posted up later on too. And in regards to the building, Linda says nobody ever talked to the tenants first, and
That's what
I
I've
will
heard.
say, right, and I will say this morning people were saying that the city should have been more transparent.
Okay, so
It's not
I'll
the
jump
city.
in because this was not a city project.
No,
This was all DEW talking to
The
the
owner of the
Davis
building.
family, who are the owners of that property.
yeah,
So this was not known to any of us on the city council.
yeah. This is like a literally out of the bag thing,
Yeah.
and it's not. It wasn't the city's responsibility to talk to tenants. The only thing that you have to do with it is the city will need to approve permitting,
Mm-hmm.
and say, because due is coming to them and asking for support with
Right.
some of the grant money that has been put out there for housing.
Right.
And so, you have to say yes or no to that support.
So what we've done is
That's
we
it.
were going to present another plan for a multifamily building down by the public safety building. We were going to take out the Wabi playground
Mm-hmm.
and eventually rebuild it once we take down some houses on North Main Street. So we weren't going to lose the playground. We were just going to take it out and eventually move it. But there was too many ifs on that project that we weren't sure we'd get state funding. So when Nicholas found out about this other thing, it's got a better chance of getting no payback grants to build. So we scrapped the one down at Wabi Park, and they're gonna back them on this one.
Because it won't cost the city, it could actually
Right.
bring in a lot of revenue.
Yes,
Yeah. So anyway, that's where we're at with that.
but you know it'll get turned around somehow.
Yes.
It always does.
Oh, it always does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, thanks for joining us. Have a great day, everybody, and we will see you again later. 7 o'clock.